You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button.
It is watch list season. I say this often, that it's a bigger deal if your guy at that particular position is not on the watch list, because basically every damn body is on the watch list. So if your guy isn't on the watch list for his particular position, that's a problem. This, however, is just no surprise at all. The John Mackey Award preseason watch list was released on Friday, given annually to the best tight end in college football, and LSU's Mason Taylor, of course, was on the watch list for the Mackey Award, and that is completely justified. He was the second-team preseason All-SEC tight end coming out of SEC Media Days, second only to Brock Bowers, who this year is going to win the Mackey Award, so we can just flush that. Mason Taylor's not going to win the Mackey this year. Brock Bowers, provided he actually has a pulse and plays football this season, is going to win the Mackey as the best tight end in college football. So you just accept that. But Mason Taylor set freshman records for receptions and receiving yards by a tight end last year. And I'll remind you that came from a guy who was a 3-star, who did not have a bevy of gigantic offers. But as we've said so many times, Brian Kelly knows what he is looking for when it comes to the tight end position. He knows the body type. He knows the skill set, the ability within a certain offense. He knows what he's looking for. I mean, Mason Taylor was a 3-star. He was the 51st best tight end in the country. He was the number 94 player in the state of Florida. Not 94 in the country, 94 in Florida a year ago. But Brian Kelly knew exactly what he was looking for. And Mason Taylor came in and had a great freshman season and could very well end up being a Mackey Award winner before he's done at LSU. It was interesting because I was thinking about this. LSU's had a pretty incredible run of national award winners, really going back to Josh Reed when he won the Blitnikoff. Do you realize, so in the history of LSU football, Ken Kavanaugh won the Newt Rockne Memorial Trophy in 1939. Billy Cannon won the Heisman in 1959. 20 years. So it was Kavanaugh in 39, Cannon in 59. LSU did not have another national award winner until Josh Reed won the Blitnikoff in 2001. It was 42 years. 42 years after Billy Cannon's Heisman before LSU had another national award winner. Since then, here's the list. Josh Reed won the Blitnikoff. Ben Wilkerson won the Remington. Rudy Neiswanger won the Dratty and the Warfel Trophy. Jamarcus won the Manning Award. Glenn Dorsey won the Lombardi, the Lott Impact, Nagurski Outland Awards. Patrick Peterson won the Bednarik and the Thorpe. Mo Claiborne won the Thorpe. Tyrann Mathieu won the Bednarik. Odell won the Hornig. Devin White won the Butkus. Burrow won the Heisman, the Unitas, the AP National Player of the Year, the Walter Camp, Davey O'Brien, Maxwell, and Manning Awards. Jamar Chase won the Blitnikoff. Grant Delpit won the Thorpe. And the offensive line won the Joe Moore Award in 2019. That's a lot of awards. A lot. And quite honestly, Cade York got screwed. He should have won the Groza. LSU has never had a Mackey Award winner, or even come close, quite honestly. I think Mason Taylor, not this year, but in 2024, is going to have a legitimate shot at that award because, as we've seen with national awards, a big part of it is, yes, you have to have production, but name recognition matters so much. And Mason Taylor, as a freshman, not only with his pedigree, of course, we all know his dad is Jason Taylor, he's a Pro Football Hall of Famer, but also the fact that he had, could we arguably, the biggest play in last year's regular season in college football. Is that, I don't think that's overstating it. I mean, the LSU-Alabama game in overtime, to have the 2-point conversion in overtime, is something that's been replayed not just by LSU fans, but everybody who watches college football over and over and over. It was one of the most famous plays of last college football season. So he became known for that immediately. And now he's going to play as a sophomore, and people will get to know him even better. And then as a junior, he's going to have a legitimate shot because people are going to say he's going to be one of those guys where you're like, man, it feels like that guy's been playing forever just because he played so much so early. So Mason Taylor's not going to win the Mackey this year. Brock Bowers is going to win it. But Mason Taylor's going to have a great shot to become LSU's first ever Mackey Award winner in 2024 or 2025. And as you look ahead at what that position looks like and how Brian Kelly is building that position behind Taylor with Mac Markway, Kamarian Pimpton, Jackson McGowan, who all three of those freshmen look great so far. They look like they belong. None of them looks intimidated out on the field. And then Trey'Dez Green coming behind there. They're building a pipeline at tight end. And as much as we talk about LSU as DBU and wide receiver U, and you have that conversation, it may not be long before we're having that conversation about this position because of how Brian Kelly recruits it, how he uses it, and develops that position. And you're going to start to see those guys funnel into the NFL, and it's going to be fun to watch at that position coming up. All right. By the way, here was Brian Kelly on the tight end. Can we play this one? This is Kelly number 5. Yeah, this is Brian Kelly talking about this young tight end group behind Mason Taylor.
Pimpton out there, he's a big body guy that has soft hands, was my first, glimpse at him out there. And, he's certainly, if you watch tempo, he had a hard time getting lined up. But that's on us. We got to figure out how to get him lined up, maybe just put him in one position and go, because he certainly has the tools. And that's kind of what we thought. And he's much bigger. He's up to about 245 pounds already. When he got onto campus, he was, I think, 222. So he's done a great job of taking care of himself and doing the right things in nutrition. And Markway's moving much better. He's leaned up, much more agile, because he's a big body guy that can help us. We've really built the depth there at the tight end position that we needed around Taylor. So I think it's going to be a good group.
He didn't even mention McGowan, who's looked really good as well. We're at number 83. He said Mac Markway leaned out. I'm telling you, maybe just because we're out there watching them in helmets and just jerseys and shorts, and so everybody doesn't get a chance to see them. But yesterday on Thursday, when we were outside, there was a time when the media kind of has to stay on the perimeter, and as we were walking up the side field, Mac Markway caught a pass on the sideline. I was standing right next to him. He's a massive human. He is a rectangle. Thickly built for an 18-year-old, for anybody, but especially for an 18-year-old. To say that he leaned out to get to 250 is something. He is an impressive specimen. I was nervous about having your elder statesman at the position being a sophomore. LSU's defensive line went through this back in 2014. In 2014, Anthony Johnson and Ego Ferguson both left early for the draft. And so Christian Lockachar, as a true sophomore, was the most veteran player on the interior of your defensive line. I remember Davin Gottschall, who was a defensive end at Plaquemine, I'm pretty sure it was Plaquemine, who had torn his ACL his senior year of high school. So a converted defensive end to defensive tackle coming off a torn ACL was starting as a freshman in 2014. Now those guys became really good players. But it feels similar here at tight end, where your most veteran guy is Mason Taylor, is a true sophomore. You got 3 freshmen behind him, but all 3 of them look good and look like they belong, at least early.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.